Hello darts nuts. What I've got here is a set of darts that I designed myself. I've decided to call them the Talisman 90. They're a 90% tungsten dart, 22 grams. I will be selling these on the forum. I only have 48 sets of them left, and I'll be selling them as barrels only with point protector, just makes it safer to post. But I'll be selling the barrels for $17.99, and like I said, they're a 90% tungsten dart, and they're being made to quite a high spec and very nicely machined. And I like to set them up with which is my preferred setup really, medium nylons and standard flights, but because it's barrels only you can pretty much set them up how you like. But for the sake of this review, I'm just going to review them with this setup. I've already been using this set for a few weeks, and I didn't design the dart specifically to suit me. It was just a design that I came up with, but I kind of got lucky in that they actually work really well with my front grip. And when you see the close-up of the dart, then you'll probably appreciate how the grip works. But basically the idea was of a kind of a grip that was going to be all the way through the barrel, but decided to put a smooth section in the middle just to make it a bit easier and cheaper to machine. But it's quite expensive to get the whole thing done in the same grip, so that was kind of an option just to reduce the price a little. But I'll show you a close-up of the dart now, and then you can have a good look at the grip. Right, here we go then with the close-up of the dart. It's got a fairly short silver point, and that suits me just about right. I think I probably would have preferred just a little bit longer, maybe about 2 or 3 millimeters, because it's just on the very edge of my grip there. But yeah, it's okay, I can get away with that. But yeah, like the grip, the idea for the grip was something that came from playing on a few darts with scallops. I didn't want a dart that was like a deep scallop, but I wanted it to have little elements which kind of felt like a scallop, so that's why I've got these slanted rings in here. So these little rings, they're slanted in, and what that does is it makes the ring in front of it and at the back of it feel more edgy. So when you're gripping it, it kind of feels as if you've got a kind of a slight scallop, but you've got the edges of the rings there, so it feels a lot more grippy than it looks. Probably say it's maybe a high medium, just verging onto a high level, but not quite. If you just relax your grip on it and rub it over, then it runs quite easy, so it's easy enough dart to release without biting into your grip too much. But what I like about it is that I can feel the edges of these rings in my grip, so I know where my grip is going every time, and I've still got something to push against. Like I said, I didn't really design it just for my own particular grip, but it was just an idea of a grip that I had for something different. But then when I came to throw the darts, I found that they actually work quite well with my front grip. And like I said before, that middle section is smooth, but originally the idea was to have the grip all the way through. So if you're a centre gripper, then you're a little bit unlucky, I guess, because you've only got a smooth section. But the tungsten itself has a nice feel, but rear grippers and front grippers are probably going to like the grip. If you don't want something that's too aggressive, then it feels as if it's got just the right level of bite. But I don't know how well you can see. You probably need to look at the photographs that I post on the forum, but you can see how the grip has a kind of inverted rings on each side, and then the ring in the middle. So you've got little elements of edgy rings along the barrel, and like I said, it feels more grippy than it looks because you can feel the edges of them rings. But this is how I prefer to have my dart set up, especially it works well for me on these ones with a medium stem and a standard flight. But I think with a straight barrel dart it does suit the majority of throw styles and grip styles. Just depends how much aggressiveness you need in a grip. This is kind of like that halfway point where it's just got enough bite to feel as if it's not going to slip, but it's not gripping that much that it's going to stick either. So let's let you look at the dart for a bit, and then I'll put the detailed picture up with all the measurements on. Okay, here's the detailed picture. Okay, here's the close look with all the measurements. The point is 25mm. The barrel has a tapered nose, and that section of the nose is 5mm wide. And then you've got a band with a couple of grooves either side, which is 3mm wide. And then there's a thin ring about 1.15mm. And then you go into this section with the two sloping rings and the ring in the middle. That's a total of 5mm wide. And then there's another thin ring of 1mm, and then there's another 5mm section as before, and then another 1mm ring, and then the middle, including the two grooves either side, is 8.2mm wide. And then you've got a section that mirrors the previous section but in reverse, and then at the very end of the barrel you've got a smooth section of 5.6mm. Overall length is 51mm and the width is 6.18mm. Alright, I'll just do some measurements along the barrel. The barrel length is 51mm, 51.03, and the widest section, well, it should be even width all the way through, but 6.18 in the middle and 6.18 6.119, just getting the edges of the rings there, and it's got that slight taper at the front of the barrel. It's a bit hard to get that on, but that's about 3.7. It should be, yeah, it's just slightly tapers towards the end of the shaft, 6.15. So it's a pretty even width barrel all the way through, just around about 6.18. Just measure that. Yeah, 6.18. So it just depends where you measure it on the rings, but I'd say 6.18 is the width. Right then, I'm just going to compare the weight of the barrels, see how they match up. That one is 22.08. And that is 22.08. And that is 22.08. Like I said, the darts to the weight of the full setup is 24.11, the weight of the setup that I use. Well, like I said, the darts are made to a high standard, so I'm not really surprised that they're well matched. Right, I'll see if I can find a balance point. With nothing attached, it's probably going to be just slightly front of the centre. Yeah, I'd say just about there, maybe just slightly front weighted. And with the supplied setup, well, with the setup that I prefer to use. So with a medium stem and standard flight, it's almost in the centre of the barrel. Maybe just slightly front of centre. So that's the close look at the Talisman 90. Like I said, it's a design of my own. If you want to buy a set, then just contact me. Probably best to contact me through the forum. It's $17.99, barrels only, with just the point protector. And like I said, it wasn't really a design that I specifically made to suit me. It was just an idea of a grip that I came up with. But I'll probably just throw the ones that I have been thrown, because I don't want to mark another new set. So if it looks as if I've got some ratty stems on the video, then that's probably why. But I've had these on for a while, and I've had a few Robin Hoods. I just always seem to get them, so I've knocked one of the prongs off them, so I'll probably change the stems. But the flights are a bit roughed up like, but the barrels are in pretty good nick still. Not as marked as I was expecting, because like I said, there is some edginess to the rings, but they've held up pretty well the last few weeks, and I've been getting some decent scores with them. The only thing that I probably would change is maybe a slightly longer point, but like I said, I didn't design them to suit me specifically, but I just got lucky that they seemed to be working quite well. So let's give them a throw and see how they go. I'm holding the dart just where that, well, it's kind of a ring in between the two sloping parts. Like I said, I didn't really make the darts to suit my specific grip, but the grip there, it feels quite comfortable for me, and it's pretty good for my front grip, because that little ring gives me something to push against. And the two sloping sections kind of make it feel as if it's in like a very, very slight scallop, but with the ring being pronounced, so I've got something to push against, and it's quite grippy. It's a lot more grippy than it initially looks, and I think it's because you can feel the edge of that ring. And overall it feels nice and comfortable with my front grip, and for me it flies pretty well. Well, it's actually been flying quite well for the last couple of weeks, so I've been trying this particular set. It's a little bit battered now. I've just put some new flights on, but the other ones were wrecked. And I've been getting some good groupings with the darts, and I've had quite a lot of 100 plus scores with them, and it's kind of surprised me really, because I didn't really design it to suit me, but they fly so much better than I was expecting. Through the air as well, it's nice and stable. I can't really see anything wrong when it's flying through the air, but I have got it set up with medium stems and standard flights, which is what I normally use in any case. Oh well, there you go, that's my Talisman 90 22 gram 90% tungsten darts. I only have 48 sets of these, so if you want to buy a set, just send me a message on the forum or on YouTube or Facebook and let me know if you want a set. So that's the end of the review. Thanks for watching.